Can. And thanks for tuning in for the third episode of Google Game Summit 2020. I'm your host, Aman Grover from Google Challenges for Your Business and for Yourself. While the challenges for each one of us are unique, we are being impacted in some or other way. And we want you to know that Google and our teams are there for you. Have experts for advising you on game monetization. We can also help you in consults on exports, cost per install benchmarks for top countries. Today's session is all about that. Campaign onboarding and other supports by Google. All you need to do is just listen to the session carefully, and at the end of the session, in the feedback form, please leave your numbers and email so that we can get back to you. You can also write to us on 2020 gamesummit at google.com if you have any queries from us. Quickly moving on to our first speaker, Mr. Sharan Tulsiani, who is Business Development Manager, Apps and Games for Google Play India. Sharan specializes in mobile gaming growth and IAP monetization across global regions for Google Play. And he carries extensive knowledge on the Indian and global gaming industry, game monetization, and growth consulting. Here you go, Sharan. Here you are live.
All right. Hello. Hi, everybody. And, I'm excited to be here. Aman, thank you for the introduction. I may have met some of you in the past before, but a little bit about myself for those who I haven't met before. I've been in the gaming industry for a while now and have had the pleasure to see the industry in India and the business grow from the PC gaming days to some time in the console industry and now the explosion in the mobile business. And I've had the opportunity to, at least I believe, guide some of that growth recently, especially in the mobile space. So what I want to try to do is do a very quick overview for you to get you to start thinking globally, to help those among you who haven't sold global markets. Just note down some very broad guidelines, right? And these guidelines are more about how do you think and how do you approach these markets rather than specifics on what to do with every nuance, because these markets can be very complicated, right? All right, so let me tell you a bit about what's ahead and how I'm going to address this. A lot of what you're going to see is going to be publicly available data and App Annie data. And most of the content, I try to keep it in my notes and I'll be speaking them. So the slides are just broad structures. When you customize your game, some fonts might actually break when trying to use that script. So there are issues that we've seen with developers. Another easy cultural shift is trying to use Russian character names instead of English. This does help. And finally, and this is the last point, I'll hand off to the next speaker very soon, but social media promotions on local networks is quite important because Russia has significant local networks and channels that a lot of gamers acquire game knowledge from. So look into localization, both in terms of the game itself, but also your acquisition channels when looking at the Russian market. All right, that's time for me. I'm going to hand over to Aman, and thank you. I hope this has been useful.
Okay, thank you so much, Sharan, for insightful session. We clearly know that the session is about going global and still thinking local. And we know that US, UK, France, Russia, Japan, these are the markets to go after. So today, in all of our sessions, we'll be talking about the key markets and how to export there. With this, I would love to invite our dear friend Vinay Charania, strategic partner manager from Google AdMob. Vinay works on the monetization side of the business, specializes the monetization solutions for the games, and extensive knowledge on casual games and word games in particular. Here you go, Vinay. Over to you.
Thanks, Aman. Thank you for the introduction. I welcome all of you to the session on monetization for export users. I'm the second speaker for today, or as considering Alok's popularity on this forum, I am you're two speakers away from apps and basis the user country. You evaluate the user countries with high ads per user like SEA, LATAM, or Middle East versus top tier markets, and ensure that you serve more ads in those markets as compared to some of the other geographies. You can also customize your experience by your purchasers and non-purchasers. And finally, you need to customize your IAP basis the user country. I'll thus summarize now. And the 5 points that I want to summarize this entire presentation by is: number one, build games for the world, not just for India. Use AdMob's mediation platform to get the maximum value from all your ad networks. Utilize rewarded ads to unlock the highest value from users. Invest in analytics to scale fast. Only then do you know your LTV and CPI numbers. And finally, to customize your games so that you can earn not just quickly, but you also earn smartly by the different user markets. With this, I would like to conclude my presentation. I would again call Aman on screen to take you forward, to take this session forward. Thank you again for being a good audience. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Vinay, for such an insightful session. Clearly, you said there is no progress without analytics and measurement. And that brings me to the next section of ours on measurement. We've got Shubham Jha from Adjust, and he would be talking about the measurement and statistics from different countries and how to export there. Shubham comes from Adjust. Shubham specializes in providing attribution solutions to the sophisticated clients, and he's got extensive knowledge on marketing and data analytics. With this, I'll also like to request the audience to post their questions on your screen. In the last 20 minutes, we have a panel, and we'll be answering the top 15, 20 questions which you will ask today. So I encourage each one of you to continue asking questions on the session. Here you go, Shubham.
Hey, Aman, thank you so much for giving this opportunity. So for everyone, my name is Shubham. I take care of India sales business for Adjust. Adjust is a mobile intelligence platform. Brands uses a platform for user acquisition, retargeting, automation, fraud protection, and insight. Moving forward, if you see, these are the few clients who have been leveraging our platform specifically from gaming industry. So anything from Nintendo to Nantec to Play Simple to Gameberry, they all have been leveraging our platform. Moving forward, so today I'll be talking about these tier 1 markets. There are also small markets highly correlated to these, like Canada to United States, Taiwan to Japan. Education and learning should be your key takeaways, right? Moving forward, Japan. Japan is third largest market when it comes to market size. It poses a huge opportunity for game development companies. Vast majority of players prefer to watch ads while playing game. So monetization needs to be focused on hybrid IAP and ads, right? Play Store ratings can help you increase your monthly active users. Puzzle is most preferred category amongst game players. Just a sec. Just a sec, guys. Yeah, just move it. Right? Shubham@adjust.com. To move forward, I'd like to call Aman.
Thank you so much, Shubham. And with this, we come on to our next session with our celebrity guest today, Mr. Alok Kejriwal. Mr. Alok Kejriwal is a well-known author, entrepreneur, and a game developer. And Alok runs a gaming studio named Games to Win and specializes in, I would say, if I say one thing he specializes in, it will be foolish of me. He specializes in many things. I've attended his yoga sessions. I have attended sessions with Sri Ravi Shankar and him on Art of Living. Other than that, he specializes in gaming across Asia and global regions and extensive knowledge on user monetization and acquisitions. Over to you, Mr. Alok Kejriwal.
Thanks. Nice to see everyone, and great to be on a gaming panel. So let's talk about the whole business of mobile games. I think of it as an opportunity of a lifetime, right? I mean, we get one life, and mobile exports I mean, gaming itself is a phenomenal business to be, and if you can just put a little spin on your business and create an export kind of momentum, it can be really amazing. So let's move on. Um, we're in a gaming panel, right? So let's play car games. So it's not Alok who's designing the dresses or turning around the RPM in a car. It's an automobile designer. So we invest in diversity and skills, and that's what makes your company great. So the summary is very simple. Uh, we're in the right business at the right time. It can't get better. Unfortunately, it's a bad time in the world, but gaming is a good business to be in. There's a market for everyone. The global markets are bigger and lucrative. Don't chase hits, chase improvement. Kaizen, Kaizen, Kaizen. Understand that word. This is an important one. Localize deep, then think, then go wide. Don't go wide and look and be thin. Calculate ROI. Remember there's a small imaginary pencil in under behind your ear, like you see in those Hindi movies with the accountant. That's the kind of pencil you should always keep. If you don't have a pencil, hang one in your ear, then you'll understand ROI all the time. Just joking. And analytics, right? I mean, everything that moves has to be measured. That's simple. Look, this is a personal view. We don't care about degrees and which college you came from. We want enthusiasm and passion, and that's what we hire for, which is how we've been able to get a very diverse team in place. We like people who don't do well in college because they try harder. Connect with me. If you're on the internet and I'm on the internet, we can connect. So you won't find it hard to find me. Yep. Thank you so much, and thank you, Aman. And over to you.
Thank you so much, Alok. I'm really always amazed at how simplistically you put things forward, and I'm like every time I meet you, I think that wish we had playing that game in your families. You'll have Purnima coming in from Zynga. Purnima is the lead game designer from Zynga. She'll talk about the game design and understanding the gaming mindset. And we'll also have Mr. Siddharth Jain, a CEO and co-founder of one of the biggest gaming studios in the country called Play Simple Games. With this, I'm sure that you guys are busy in filling up the feedback form, but we'll continue the session with questions and answers. We move next to our panelists. Please type your questions onto your screen in the chat window. We'll continue to take live questions for another 20-25 minutes. Can we have all the panelists, please? Okay, we'll wait for the questions to come in. Okay, the first question is for Mr. Alok. Alok, the question is, how did you think of going global? Was it a planned effort over time?
Yeah, that's a great question. Thank you. Actually, when I started Games to Win, I took 3 wows, swears, and the first wow was VOW. Okay, not wow, but VOW. And the first wow.
To be here and make our audience learn. Let me, reassure my audience once again, then that in this journey we are all together. See you all next Friday once again with something very new. Thank you all.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.